Hello everyone, this is Algebra 2 Lesson 7, and this lesson covers percent and equations from geometry. Alright, percent. Percent means per hundred. So we've done problems where we were looking for a fractional part of a whole, and we use the formula of what fraction times our of number, and then equals our is part of the equation. When we do a percent, it means per hundred, so basically divided by 100. So we're going to put our percent over 100. So we've got our percent over 100 times our of and equals our is. Alright, so this problem says 18 is 20% of what number? Work the problem and then draw a completed diagram. Alright, so first we have 18 is. Now remember, is our equals part. So we're going to write 18 is, means equals, 20%. So 20%, we know our percent goes over 100. So we're going to put 20 over 100 of what number? Of means times, and then we'll just use W for what number. Now, we can do this two different ways. We could flip this fraction and multiply on both sides. So times 100 over 20. And then do that over here, times 100 over 20. On this side, these would cancel, and we're going to be left with W by itself. And then on this side, let's see, I could cancel right here because that's 18 over 1. We could do, this will be 10, and this would be 9. And then 100 divided by 10, that would just be 10. 10 times 9 is 90. So our answer is 90. The other way we could do it, if we did our, okay, so we had, let's write it back out. And it's the exact same thing, we're just doing a little bit, taking our step a little bit differently. So 18 is 20 over 100, 20%, times W. So instead of flipping this fraction, we can get rid of this fraction. We can just say that this fraction means 20 divided by 100. So if we divide by 100, remember when we divide, we move our decimal to the left, the number of zeros. So we got 2 zeros, we move this to the left 2 places. So it's 18 equals 0.2 W, right? 0.2 times W. So we divide by 0.2 divided by 0.2. And that would be W equals 90. If we did 18 divided by 0.2, we got to move our decimal 1. 9 and 9 is 18. Bring up our 0. Right? So same little formula for both of those. All right, let's try another one. 1500 is what percent of 250? All right, so if we're going to start with this number, 1500, and then we get is, so that's going to be equals. What percent? So that means our W is going to go over 100, okay, because that part's our percent, of 250, so times 250. Okay, so for this one, first we're going to need to divide by 250, right, because that's times 250, so we're going to divide by 250. Those will cancel. 1500 divided by 250. Let's see, that would be 25 goes into 150. 4 times is 100, 6 times. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14, 15. 6 times, so this would be 6 equals W over 100. So this is our W divided by 100, so now we need to do times 100. And we're going to get 600 equals W. Now, in the last one, I forgot to draw the diagram, so let's go ahead and draw this diagram over here. Alright, so it says 1500 is what percent of 250? Alright, so our diagram is 100%. and that is 250. And we need a number that's going to be 1,500. That's obviously a lot more than 100%, right? It's 600% would be our 1,500. Because we have 6 250s in here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So that'll be 250, 250, right? Because if we multiplied it times 6, we would get 600%. 250 times 6 is 1,500. Let me draw the diagram on the one we did, that first example. Alright, so if I was to draw a diagram for this one, 18 is 20% of what number? So that means that we've got our whole thing right here. This is going to be 100%. And then we've got 20% right there. And we know that that is 18. And we figured out that it was 90. 100% equals 90. See, if we did 20%, this means that this part would need to be 80%. 80% of 90 would be 72, and if we added those two together, we would get our 18, and 72 is 90, okay? Alright, next part is about equations from geometry problems. Okay, so for this one, it wants us to find x, okay? And x is just a part of a bunch of algebra problems, equations, that are connected to angles. Now, to figure this out, we know that all three of these angles added together make 180. So that means if we add all three of these equations together, we're going to come up with 180. So if we did 2x plus 2 plus 7x plus 18 plus 6x, oops, that's supposed to be a plus right there, not an equals, plus 10 equals 180. Alright, now we're going to combine like terms. So I've got 2x and 7x and 6x. That would be 6, 6, 13, 14, 15x. And then I've got 2 plus 18. That would be 20 plus 10 would be 30 equals 180. And then I subtract my 30. I get 15x equals 150. And then I'm going to divide by 15 on both sides. And I get x equals 10. Alright, so the key to this one is to know that all of these have to add up to 180. And then you just take all these equations, add them, and then set that equal to 180. And then just solve for x. Alright, next one, find x, then find the measure of a small angle and the measure of a large angle. Okay, so for this one, the key to this is to know that if we have a small angle and a large angle, right, these two together, we're going to get 180 because a straight angle is 180, okay? Alright, so that straight angle consists of this plus this, right? So this large angle plus this small angle is going to make 180. So if I have 4x plus 33 plus 3x, that should equal 180. Now all I have to do is solve for x. So I'm going to put my like terms together. 4x and 3x would be 7x plus 33 equals 180. Subtract the 33. see, that would be 3 is 7, 7 minus 3 is 4, 147. And then I'm going to divide by 7. Two times 21. Alright, so if x equals 21, that's the first part. Then we need a small angle and a large angle. Okay, so for our small angle, if we know that x equals 21, let's see, that would be down here. Our small angle is 3 times x, so that would be 3 times 21. So we just multiply that out, and we get 63 is our small angle. Now, for this one, we could put our 21 right where that x is, or we could just say 180 minus 63. We'll do it both ways. So if we did 4 times 21 plus 33, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 84, plus 33, 117. Now when I add my small and my large together, I should get 180. So we can double check. 63 plus 117, 10, 6, 7, 8, 180. Right? So the key to this one is knowing that our large angle plus our small angle equal 180. Okay, this one gives us 4 different angles. And it tells us the measure of angles A, B, C, and D are in the ratio of 1, 2, 4, 2. So that means this is 1x, right? We're just gonna name one of them as x, right? So that's equal 1 to 1. And then our B will be the second number here, so that's equal to 2. And then our C is our third number here, which would be equal to 4. And then our D would be our fourth number there, which would be 2. That means that this angle, B right here, is twice the size of A. And C right here is 4 times the size of A, right? So it's just kind of a relationship between those numbers. Okay, so A is like our base, right? And B is twice as big as A. And D is twice as big as A, so 2 times A. And then C is 4 times A. So we're just going to call A, our base, x. So we're going to say, for this first one, we're going to have 1x. It's just 1. Then we're going to add to that our second one, B, which would be 2 x's. And then our third one, we're going to add to that 4x. And then our last one would be another 2x. And all that has to equal 180, right? Because a straight line is 180. So all 4 of these angles added together is going to make 180. So how many x's do we have? We're going to add like terms. We've got 2, and 2 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8, 9. Okay, and then we're going to divide by 9. And we're going to get x equals, I think it's 20. It's 2, 18, yep, it's 20. Okay, so that means for every x, it's going to be 20 degrees. Well, this one's A is 1, so that means A equals 20 degrees. B is twice as big as A, or 2x, right? Here's B. That was A. That would be C, and that's D. Okay, so if B is 2 times 20, that would be 40 degrees, right? And then C is 4 times A, so 4 times 20 would be 80 degrees. And then D is another 2 times, so that would be 40 degrees. And if we added all those up, we should get 180. 8, 10, yep. So those are just basically just a ratio, but the key to being able to solve this is knowing that this is all 180. All right, go ahead and pause the video and work the practice problems, and I'll come back and work them for you. All right, so hopefully you got these worked. All right, so we're going to start with A. 93 is 30% of what number? Work the problem and draw the completed diagram. So we've got 93 is 30%, so that means we're going to do 30 over 100. Of means times, and W for what number? So we got 93 right there. Is our equal sign. 30, that's 30 over 100, because it's 30% of what number? Of means times, W. All right, so for this one, I think I'm going to just go ahead and reduce that fraction right now and make that be 0.3, right? So if I did 30 divided by 100, I'm going to come up with 0.3. Just move my decimal back to the left too. 0.3 W. So that means I'm just going to divide both sides by 0.3. And I'm going to get W equals, so I need 93 divided by 0.3. And you can use a calculator to do this if you need to. And I'm going to say 3 times 3 is 9. 310. Okay, if I wanted to do it the other way, I could say 93 equals 30 over 100 times W. I could reduce that fraction to 93 equals 3 over 10 W, and then I just flip and multiply. Right? And those cancel each other. And we get W. So we make that 93 over 1. Now, if I wanted to cancel right here, I could say 3 goes into 93 31 times, and then 31 times 10 is 310. There's that. All right, so now I got to draw the diagram. So 93 is 30% of what number? So we've got a number, right, that is 100%. And then we've got a 30%. Right there, and it tells us 93 is 30% of what number? So what we're looking for is, what does 100% equal? And that was 310. Right? If we added like another 60% would be right here. And then if we said 310 minus 93, let's see, that would be, let's see, that would be 10, that'd be a 0, 10 minus 3 is 7, and then that'd be a 2, and that'd be a 10 minus 9 is 1, 217. Alright, so there is the diagram for that one. The diagrams can be helpful, but if you find them confusing, don't bother with it, right? Because if the diagram just makes it more confusing, then you don't have to draw it, as long as you're coming up with the right answer. Alright, next one. 7,800 is what percent of 390? So 7,800 is what percent of 390? Alright, so that means we're doing 390 times our fraction, so we want to divide by 390 first. Alright, so then we'll be left with W over P. And then we got to do divided by 390. You can use a calculator for this if you want. I'm going to say 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6, 7, yep, 20. Okay, so now, oh, whoops, it should be over 100. There we go. Has to be your percent over 100. Now we gotta multiply times 100. And we get nope, one too many zeros. There we go. 2,000. Alright, for our diagram, if we had 100% is 390, right? And 7,800 is a lot more than that. It's going to be a lot more than 100%. It is going to be 2,000%. Right? Because there would be 20 of these boxes that fit into there. Oh, went too far. Alright, C. Okay, this last one, and we have to find X, A, and B. Alright, so we have small angle and a small angle. Okay. We do not have a small angle and a large angle on this one. We have small angle, all these are small angles. Okay, so that means they're going to be equal to each other. That is equal to that. So if we said 2x plus 12 equals 5x minus 21. That's our equation. So now we just have to solve for x. Alright, so I'm going to do minus 12. Actually, I'm going to try to avoid having a negative x. I'm going to do minus 2x on both sides to get my x's together. 12 equals 3x minus 21. Now I'm going to add 21. I'm going to get 33. Now I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to get x equals 11. So x equals 11. Then I need A equals and B equals. Okay, so if x equals 11, all I have to do is solve either one of these equations because these are all small angles, so they're all going to be the same measure. Okay, so I'm just going to plug my 11 in where this x is. So 2 times 11 plus 12, and that's going to tell me what my small angle is. 2 times 11 is 22, plus 12 would be 34. So A should be 34, and B should be 34. Double check these answers real quick, make sure I got them right. Because even if you're good at math, or even when you're the teacher, sometimes you can make a mistake. Alright, so 11 and A and B both equal 34. Yep, that one's right. And then on this one, I should have got 2,000%, yes. And on this one, I should have got 93, 217. Yep. All right, so that is it for Lesson 7. Thanks for watching.